Hello, and welcome to episode 4 of Behave with Sue. My name's Sue Cowley, and I'm a teacher trainer and author, and I'm making a series of short videos to support you in managing behaviour. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about extrinsic motivators, also known in the trade as rewards. Now, most but not all settings and schools will use a system of rewards that works either across the whole school or within key stages often. Actually, in the setting that I help to currently run, which is a preschool, we don't use any extrinsic rewards at all, but that's a conversation for another video. So the reason we use extrinsic rewards in behaviour management is because we've established our expectations, but we need to find a positive way of encouraging children to meet those. Now, instinctively, when you encounter poor behaviour, what you'll probably feel like doing is reacting with a punitive measure. So you might feel like calling out, if you won't stop doing that, I'm going to have to do this. But actually, you need to fight that instinct. And you need to turn instead, first at least, to extrinsic rewards. So with extrinsic rewards, it might be something like saying, oh, who in the class do I think deserves a sticker? Or I'm looking to send 3 certificates home today. Or I'm looking to call somebody's parents to talk about how well they're doing. And what you're essentially doing is saying, if you cooperate, if you behave well, then I have these motivators, what we might even call bribes, on offer. Now, there are some issues with extrinsic motivators, which is why we don't use them in our setting. One of the biggest issues is that it can encourage the children to think of learning and behaviour as something you only do to receive an external reward. And what you can sometimes find is that children will say to you, well, what do I get if I do that? And obviously we don't want to encourage that sense that, learning, you have to be bribed into doing it. Another issue with extrinsic motivators is that we can tend to overdo it. So we're always told to be positive with behaviour, and that's a really good thing. But the problem with extrinsic rewards is the more you use them, the less value they have as a currency. So it's a really good idea to try and make it quite hard to meet your standards, your expectations. Keep those standards really high. So here's a fun little story that I was once told about how you keep the value of the currency high. I met a teacher and he was telling me about an extrinsic reward he uses, which he called his hallelujah button. And I said, oh, tell me about it. And he said, well, it's a big red button. And on the button, it says hallelujah across it. And I hardly ever press it. And I said, oh, gosh, what do you mean? And he said, well, I say to the class, I will only ever press this button if you are all working brilliantly, behaving brilliantly, and meeting this incredibly high standard that I've set. And he said to me, sometimes he reaches out towards the button and goes to press it. And the kids go, oh, he's going to press it. And then he goes, oh, no, not quite good enough yet. And he told me sometimes he only presses it once a term, and possibly even once a year. So all his learners know that it's really hard to get him to give them this extrinsic reward. And I said to him, well, what happens when you press it? And he said, well, all it does is it plays the Hallelujah chorus. But my learners absolutely love it. So that's something else to remember about extrinsic rewards, that it's not necessarily the thing you're offering that matters, it's how you present it to your learners. I'll stop there. Thank you for joining me and look forward to seeing you for the next episode.